The Galactic Empire ruled the stars for more than 10,000 years. Its fleets filled the sky of every world. Its laws were feared in every system. No race dared to challenge the empire. No ship entered its space without permission. That is why the alarms on the Imperial Command Station caused silence instead of panic at first. A single signal appeared on the main screen. One ship. No fleet. No escort. The location was impossible. The ship had appeared inside a forbidden zone. A region of space erased from maps. A place where even light behaved strangely. Admirals stared at the data. Scientists checked it again and again. They all reached the same answer. This ship should not exist. Its size was small compared to Imperial warships. But its shape made no sense. No clear engines. No weapon ports. No heat signature. It did not move. It did not send signals. It simply waited. The Emperor was informed within minutes. He arrived in the command chamber with cold eyes. He had seen wars, rebellions, and extinctions. Yet something about this report disturbed him. Identify it, he ordered. Thousands of scanners focused on the ship. Every known database was searched. Every ancient record was opened. Nothing matched. The ship was not alien. It was not machine. It was not energy-based. It was unknown. Around the Empire, fleets were ordered to move. Battleships jumped into position. Weapons were charged. Fighters filled launch bays. Still, the ship did nothing. Some commanders laughed. They said it was a lost probe. A broken relic. A mistake in the sensors. Others were not so calm. They remembered old myths. Stories whispered in academies. About watchers beyond the stars. A small drone was sent toward the ship. It moved slowly, carefully. The moment it crossed a certain distance, the drone shut down and drifted, lifeless. No explosion. No attack. Just silence. Fear began to spread. The Emperor clenched his hand. Send a warning message, he said. A powerful signal was transmitted in every known language. It demanded identification. It demanded retreat. The ship did not respond. Minutes passed. Then hours. The Empire waited. For the first time in centuries. The Empire waited. Suddenly, the ship moved. No engines lit up. No force was detected. It simply changed position. As if space itself allowed it. Gasps filled the command chamber. Scientists shouted impossible readings. This breaks every law, one of them said. The Emperor felt something he had not felt in a long time. Uncertainty. Then a single light appeared on the ship's surface. Not bright. Not threatening. A signal began to form. Simple, clean, clear. The Empire prepared for war. Weapons locked on target. Fleets awaited the order. The unknown ship sent one short transmission. Not in an alien code. Not in an ancient language. It was simple. Direct. The message appeared on the screen. We are here. Silence returned to the chamber. Every leader understood the truth at the same moment. This was not a mistake. This was not an accident. Something had come back. And the galaxy was no longer safe. The message stayed on the screen. We are here. No threat followed. No demand. No warning. That was what scared the Empire the most. The command chamber was silent. Admirals looked at one another. Scientists whispered in fear. The Emperor broke the silence. "Trace the signal," he said. Every system activated at once. Sensors reached across space. Ancient tracking methods were used. The result was impossible. The signal did not come from inside the ship. It came from everywhere around it. As if the ship was not just sending a message, but space itself was speaking. Some commanders demanded an attack. They believed strength would end the fear. Others warned that attacking first could bring disaster. The Empire argued, while the unknown ship waited. Across the galaxy, news spread fast. Merchants stopped traveling. Border worlds locked their defenses. Old enemies watched in silence. Everyone felt it. Something had changed. The Empire sent another message. This one calm, controlled, polite. It asked who they were, and why they had entered Imperial space. The reply came instantly. Faster than light. Faster than thought. The message was short. Too short. "We have always been here." Fear reached the Emperor's eyes. Records were opened again. Ancient files once marked as myths were unlocked. There were stories of a species that vanished. A species that walked between stars without gates. A species that chose silence over conquest. Most historians called them legends. A teaching tool for young officers. Nothing more. Now the legends were watching them. A science council rushed forward with new data. The ship was scanning the Empire. Not in an aggressive way, but like a doctor studying a patient. Fleet movements. Weapon power. Communication patterns. Everything was being read. The Emperor ordered fleets to tighten their formation. Thousands of ships surrounded the unknown vessel. Weapons glowed with stored energy. Still, the ship did not react. A young officer spoke carefully. "What if it wants us to attack?" he asked. "What if fear is the test?" No one answered him. Then something worse happened. Across several systems, Imperial ships lost power for 1 second. Just 1 second. But that was enough. Navigation systems failed. Weapons shut down. Defense grids went dark. Then everything returned to normal. As if nothing had happened. Panic spread instantly. "That was not an attack," a scientist said. "That was a demonstration." The Emperor understood. The ship was showing control, not strength. Another message appeared. Clear and calm. "Your fear is loud." Some commanders demanded full war. Others begged for diplomacy. The Empire had crushed rebellions. Destroyed civilizations. But this was different. This enemy was not angry. Not loud. Not rushed. It was patient. Then the ship sent something new. Not words. Images. They showed stars burning out. Empires falling. Civilizations erased by their own pride. Then one final image appeared. A small figure. Human-shaped. Standing alone among the ruins. The room froze. "Humans," someone whispered. "They are extinct." The image changed, showing human eyes opening in the dark. The unknown ship sent one last message for now. "You forgot us." The Emperor felt a cold truth settle in his mind. The galaxy had not been abandoned. It had been watched. And whatever was watching had finally decided to step forward. The word stayed in the air like a ghost. Humans. The Imperial command chamber felt smaller now. Screens showed data, images, old records. Yet no one spoke. Humans were not unknown. They were listed in the Empire's archives. A weak species. Short-lived. Divided by wars? Long ago, humans had reached the stars. But they were pushed aside by stronger races. Their colonies fell. Their ships vanished. The Empire marked them as extinct. A small footnote in galactic history. Now that footnote was staring back at them. The Emperor ordered all human records unlocked. Even the banned ones? Even the files labeled lies? What appeared on the screens disturbed everyone. Humans were never conquered. They left. They abandoned worlds before invasion. They erased their own trails. They hid their technology behind ruins. Why would a weak species do this? An admiral asked. A historian answered quietly. Because they learned? The unknown ship sent more images. Not as a threat. But as a lesson. Humans rebuilding after disasters. Humans standing together after loss. Humans protecting each other. Even when hope was gone. The Empire had seen strong species. But never this kind of strength. The ship scanned deeper. Reaching into Imperial data cores. Past firewalls. Past security. It found old battle reports. Moments when humans fought not to win, but to delay. To save others. The Empire began to understand. Humans did not fight for glory. They fought for time. A commander spoke with anger. If they are alive, why return now? The answer came from the ship. Clear and calm. Because the galaxy is ready to break. More images appeared. Slave worlds. Burning systems. Empires crushing the weak. The Empire recognized itself in those images. The ship showed human fleets hidden in deep space. Not large. Not countless. But advanced. Ships built without sharp edges. Without fear designs. Ships made for survival, not terror. Scientists stared in shock. This technology, one said. It is not built to destroy. The Emperor leaned forward. What is it built for? The answer came slowly. To endure. Then the ship revealed something else. A single human figure appeared on screen. Older, calm. Eyes tired but steady. This was not a soldier. Not a ruler. Not a conqueror. This was a watcher. The human spoke without anger. Without pride. We waited, the human said. We hoped you would grow. The Empire felt judged without being accused. The human continued. You chose power over care? Silence filled the chamber. The human looked directly at the Emperor. We did not return for revenge. The unknown ship began to power up systems unseen before. Space bent slightly around it. Time readings flickered. The human finished speaking. We returned because someone has to stop what comes next. The transmission ended. Alarms began to sound across Imperial space. Not from the human ship. But from distant borders. Unknown signals. Multiple points. Multiple directions. The Empire realized the truth too late. The humans were not the threat. They were the warning. And whatever they feared was already on the way. The Empire did not wait. Fear had reached its limit. Pride had taken control. The Emperor gave the order that could not be undone. Fire. Across the dark space, thousands of Imperial ships released their power. Energy beams, plasma waves, weapons tested only in simulations. The attack filled space with light. It was beautiful. It was terrible. For a moment, the Empire believed the threat was over. Then the light faded. The unknown ship was still there. Not damaged. Not moved. Not changed. The weapons had passed through it. As if the ship was only a shadow. Confusion spread through the fleets. Commanders shouted orders. Weapons fired again, stronger than before. The result was the same. The ship did not fight back. Instead, space around it began to shift. Stars dimmed slightly. Sensors screamed with false readings. Scientists watched in horror. "This ship is not avoiding our attacks," one said. "It exists on a different level." Before the Empire could react, a silent wave moved outward from the human ship. No sound. No explosion. The wave touched the nearest Imperial ships. Their lights went dark. Engines stopped. Weapons shut down. One by one. Then hundreds. Then thousands. Entire fleets drifted helplessly. Panic exploded across Imperial channels. Ships collided. Command structures failed. The Emperor stood frozen. This was not destruction. This was control. A message appeared on every screen. Calm, steady, human. This is not an attack. Some commanders begged for mercy. Others demanded retaliation. But they had no power left to fight. The human voice continued. "This is a boundary." The ship moved for the first time with clear intent. It passed slowly through disabled Imperial fleets. Untouched. Unchallenged. No ship could stop it. The Empire realized something horrifying. The humans could have destroyed them, but chose not to. That choice carried more fear than any weapon. A distant alarm echoed through the chamber. Reports arrived from the outer systems. Something else was coming. Not human. Not Imperial. Massive distortions appeared at the edge of known space. Rips in reality. Signs of a force that consumed stars. The human ship turned toward those signals, ignoring the Empire completely. Another message was sent. This one only to the Emperor. "You still think this is about you?" The Emperor felt small. For the first time in his reign, the human voice spoke again. "We fired no weapon. We showed restraint." The ship's systems flared briefly. Power readings exceeded all known limits. Then settled back to calm. "This," the human said, "was your final warning?" The Empire's fleets remained powerless, watching as the human ship moved away. Not fleeing. Not chasing. Preparing. The Emperor understood the truth. The humans had not returned to fight the Empire. They had returned to protect the galaxy, even from itself. As the unknown ship vanished into folded space, the command chamber remained silent. Outside, the stars looked the same. But everyone knew they were not. The first strike had failed. And the war that was coming would not be fought on Imperial terms.